I said to everybody, visit Chamonix. That is something to do once in your life. We have a famous mountain range called the Mont Blanc, where so many people come to hike. As I'm a local guide, I have a secret one where we don't see lots of people. You have a 360 view on all the different parts of the valley of Chamonix. You wonder, why will I join a women's group? Hello, everyone. My name is Armelle, and I'm a French international mountain leader, so a hiking guide. I guide snowshoeing as well, Nordic walking, and the qualification of some soft mountain biking. So I am based in Chamonix, Mont Blanc, in France, obviously. So before Chamonix, I've traveled a lot around mostly Europe, and I did traverse many mountains in the French Alps, in Scotland, and so and so. So when I arrived in Chamonix in 2004, I discovered again that this place had so many opportunities for outdoors activities, and it's what I really passionate about it. Now we will enter the real thing. So what we will cover, I will first introduce you to the Chamonix Mont Blanc, the Chamonix Valley. What is Chamonix? Where is Chamonix? Then I will tell you about the opportunities we can have around this valley, what other activity you can do as well, because as a guide, we can give you so much advice. Then we're going to stroll through this program, the Women's Highlight Program, from day to day. I will explain to you what is this program all about. And then after, obviously, if you have any questions. Here I have a short video. You will see this is the third day of the program. So this one is a very adventurous day because no one has never done that in his life. So it's a very big, nice and discovery. In front of the group, there's a high mountain guide. Okay. Why did I choose this picture? Is because it is the scenery you see from Chamonix. I picked this picture because Chamonix, whatever is spring, whatever is summer, whatever is autumn, now it's winter. It's still really stunning views and very, very, very nice lights. I've been here for 20 years and it's just, I'm always amazed to see this landscape, this mountain appear very differently. The peaks you see there, they are called the meadows of Chamonix. All those peaks have a name. All those peaks have been climbed from the north, east, west, south. So yeah, this Chamonix is a very well-known place for climbing and many things. Where is Chamonix? Put the map of France so you can see Chamonix is just the southeast. Okay, you can see the writing in red in Chamonix. So the situation of Chamonix, Chamonix is part of a region that we call the Haute-Savoie. Next to this region, we have the Savoy. Those two regions have including the Northern Alps. So this is the very important part of France where you find the Northern Alps. And Chamonix, so is in the Northern Alps. The situation of Chamonix, as you can see writing on the screen, we are not far from Geneva, 1 hour away from the Geneva city and the Geneva airport. We are 1 hour away from the capital of the Haute-Savoie that we call Annecy. It has a second name, the Venice of the Alps, very nice lake. And then as we are border with Italy and Switzerland, we are 40 to 45 minutes drive away from to Italy via the Mont Blanc tunnel. If you want to go to the other side of Switzerland as well, where there is a route that will lead you to the Swiss Rhone Valley. And if you continue this valley, you'll be arriving in Zermatt. Okay, as you can see, this is a overall plan of this valley. So Chamonix in the middle. It's a very long valley on the stretches for around 16 miles. And it is stuck between two important range of mountains. So the range you can see on your left, okay, this is the Mont Blanc range. Okay, quite important range for around 400 square kilometers. So it's not anything. And here, if we recognize, this is the famous Mont Blanc, so the second highest mountain of Europe. Mont Blanc is 17,000 feet and Chamonix is 3,000 feet. You can imagine how much difference of altitude you have between these two worlds. On the right, Over here, this is another mountain range called the Red Needle. Red Needle usually is just between France and France. If we go further north, we are more towards a different area. The Red Needles, we call them the Red Needles, is because the color of rocks, when the iron is oxide, it becomes red. That's only the reason. As you can see on this way, there's a little glacier left, but everything happens on this side. Then I will put this arrow on this mountain. Basically, Chamonix, two massive range of mountain, and whenever it's north on this side or east that way, we have two sub range of mountain, and this one is called deposits. And you will hear later on my slide, we will talk about this mountain again. Okay, so that's the photography. So Chamonix Valley, around 16 miles long. We could say that Chamonix is an authentic alpine village, but it's more than a village. It's a small town. It's different communes that makes Chamonix. Before that, it was different hamlets, but now they all joined together. So all year round, we have around 9,000 people. In those 9,000 people, 20% of the population is British, 5% is Swedish, and we have American living all year round. We have some Spanish, we have Argentinian, we have Japanese. So we are very much into a cosmopolitan city. It's very exceptional. We have this different sharing all these different story with the different nationality. I'll show you the picture with a nice autumn color. I was pointing on all those needles. Okay, so here you have the Mont Blanc, different high mountain. You have here what we call aiguilles du Midi, meadows of noon, and all those beautiful meadows of Chamonix. What is very exceptional, as well with a stunning view, is when you are in Chamonix, okay, if you follow here, in 20 minutes, you are from 3,000 to 13,000 meters altitude. This is somewhere you never found anywhere else in the Alps, and especially you share a cable car with so many various people. You come, you're a tourist, you're wearing shorts or trousers, and next to you, you have some boy or lady having a large pair of ski because that person is going to ski just at the back of his mountain, or if the conditions are good, maybe they will ski up to the Mont Blanc. You will have someone with a massive backpack because he is going to fly from this place, from the north side or the south side. And as well, you can have some people with a very tall backpack and a harness full of equipment because they are going to make their way to do some adventure climbing. So yes, a large melting pot, and it makes Chamonix very unique to that. I'll show you just a little mark here on the forest. This is the track of the train because at one point we are going into this valley. So we are the needles of Chamonix, no famous needles of Chamonix. Of course, this picture because Chamonix is all about glacier as well. For a very long time, we have many scientifics living in Chamonix or just passing by Chamonix. You have the Mont Blanc here, Aiguille du Midi, so the cable car. And basically, so once you are here around the Aiguille du Midi, as you're going to do a guided tours, you are going to see all this magnificent mountain. And nowhere else you can have that, okay? All famous peaks. Once you are here, basically, it shows you how close we are from Italy. Once you've climbed this mountain, so if you want to climb this mountain, at the back, you arrive in Italy. So yeah, we are very close from France to Italy. If we were going towards us, now towards the screen, we will be in Switzerland. The glacier I'm pointing north, this is the famous French glacier called the Sea of Ice. So for the French, it's La Mer de Glace. And this is the largest French glacier we have on the continent, and the third position of the glacier in the Alps, because the first one is the Alest glacier in Switzerland, and the second is the Gorner glacier situated by Zermatt. So I wanted to show this picture because on the very far right, we are going to be on the glacier one day. We're going to walk on the glacier. So Chamonix, a hiking paradise, yes. From beginner to very expert, there's a choice of hikes for everybody and some of the most amazing hikes, always very different. Here you can see me doing my role, my job as a mountain leader. I'm certainly explaining the group. So the ladies were in the group. They were the first one this summer. I just probably usually I like pointing to direction and say, look, 2 days ago we were there. Look, the first day we were there. So I really like to share my experiences. Sometimes where we are hiking, we are so close to the glacier, and Amex brings so many different colors in the landscape, from white, from green, from brown. Absolutely amazing. September time, you can see the color of the ground start to get red. We are hiking through blueberry field, so we take some time to test all these very nice blueberries. And in the background, you can see the meadows of Chamonix. Whenever you have a clear sky or sometimes if it's cloudy, it's always very interesting because it's sometimes when you have the clouds, we make very nice photography. Chamonix unlimited hiking possibility. There's around here 350 kilometers of trails to do. So I've been going all through them. But obviously, when you come here for a week, it's not enough to do all of them. But yeah, the possibilities are endless, especially as we are close to Italy or Switzerland. Usually, we escape to this side as well. I told you just yearly of UTMB. So this is the long running distance race that is happening at the end of August. But what is very famous is the Tour of Mont Blanc. So when you are in Chamonix, we don't say Tour of Mont Blanc, we say TMB. That we say Cham and not Chamonix. So you see in red the trails. So basically, we are hiking around the Mont Blanc. Most of the departure is from Chamonix. Some people do it clockwise or anti-clockwise. So it's 168K, so over 100 miles. And there's different programs. People do it in 6 days because sometimes they would take some transfer, or some people just spend 10 days, 11 days. So there's always a variety of programs for different groups. So this is October from last year. There's a lot more snow on the mountains. You can see because there's no leaf as well on the trees. We have a lot of large trees. So just to tell you that whatever we are in the mountain while we are hiking, those mountains always looks in a different perspective. They looks always different. But sometimes you are here and then this is this dynamic mountain just in front of you. Chamonix is a very happening place for outdoor activities. We have a few cultural events happening as well. We host a jazz festival in July with a very quite good musician. What I really love in Chamonix is this is a very rich part in history. It's a very long history to this valley. Basically, the era of modern tourism started in 1741, so 18th century, you can imagine. And it started with two British men, two explorers, who came to Chamonix to discover this famous sea of ice. And without knowing, they initiated the flow of tourism coming to this valley. So from 1741, the face of this valley totally changed. And it's one of those valleys that opened up much more early to tourism than anywhere else. What happened in the 18th century, basically, for the young British aristocrats, they were coming to do this big tour in Europe, and most of them were staying in Geneva. And in Geneva, when you have a very clear sky, you can see the Mont Blanc from Geneva. At that time, we didn't use the name of Mont Blanc. We called all this mountain the glacier. And obviously, a lot of people got curious and wanted to approach this glacier. Over here, we have his funny face. Obviously, what is very interesting in Chamonix, you have this background, and this is really one nice picture because I took an ibex, so it's a wild mountain goat. It's a male with his big horns behind a famous glacier that we can see all the time while we are in Chamonix in town, Le Bosson Glacier. In the valley, we have many ibex. This is an ibex. We have chamois, so sometimes you can be hiking to some place, and one of those will appear just on the trail or just next to you. So it's amazing. And below our Chamonix being town is a very flourished town. We see a lot of flowers everywhere. And what is interesting as well, Chamonix, because of its history, we have just in town so much variety of architecture from lots of hotels. We welcome a lot of tourists, so we have to have a lot of rooms to welcome them. But we are between the architecture of Art Nouveau from the Belle Epoque, And then you will have this very traditional mountain chalet, wood or traditional Chamonix house, and lots of flowers all around the place. You wonder why will I join a women's group? It's been 2 years now. I'm covering the program of the women's only program. Before that, usually my groups were all mixed. So I discovered this type of program 2 years ago. And to be honest, I absolutely love it. Okay. Why? I just found things are very easy in the group because we are women, that all the barriers are just like suddenly are off. I think women as well, for them, is easy way as well to get motivated and to get more confidence because there's no judgments, because we have lots of fun as well. It's an extraordinary experience. And I've seen so many smile on different faces as it's a group program, and I wish it to continue for many, many years. Okay, you can see here, so there's a lady. Oh, she's funny. That's what happened where we tried, she has wearing crampons because we have to walk with crampons. But sometimes it makes a very funny things. We are coming back from the White Lake, and it's been snowing a little, so we can see the snowflakes around here, and we have fun as well. Here's another group of ladies. Sometimes the groups, we have two friends together, three friends together, or solo ladies. And to be with women is makes a very nice cohesion group when we are together. We help each other. Everybody is helping each other. So this is absolutely brilliant. Here again, smile on the faces. It was my first group of this year as well. So no, it's a very enjoyable experience, very unique experience to be with women. Our women in efforts, the landscape of the White Lake, they are focusing because we go over some little rocks. Chamonix is in the mountain, it's in the Alps, so we do have some rocks to hike some. Now I will introduce you to the program day by day to see how we are going on. So the program, just to start with, is a moderate program. Is a possibility as well to adapt this program every day, depending of the level of the group. So there's no worry about it. So the picture, okay, you recognize the t-shirt you saw early. Basically, that was the first day. Why I took this picture is because here you have the border of France and Switzerland. So we always make fun to take funny pictures around here. And you see a lot of people behind. Basically, we are very close to the TNB, to Mont Blanc, if you didn't forget. And then sometime we are on section where people are doing the TNB and passes us or we're crossing those people. So you arrive in Chamonix on a Saturday. Some people have seen some ladies have arrived a few days before because they want to take some time in Geneva, visit the Geneva city. I've heard some ladies have did a chocolate tour of Geneva. And some people went to Annecy, Venice of the Alps, just to cruise around the lake. But usually we meet up on the Saturday evening at 6 o'clock. And this is the welcoming drink. I welcome you. We introduce each other and I will present you the program day by day and give you advice on what is good to take or not to take. What I always say to people is don't mind because every day I will say the things over. I tell you what time we are meeting, what is good to take, what are we going to do things, what's going to happen, the trail. So I will always explain things. How we are traveling from Aix to Aix. Basically, I have a minibus and I drive you from trails to trails. So you can see here, you have the Chamonix from a different angle, the Mont Blanc over here, Aiguille here. And you see this river. This is a glacier river. This is the reason why the color is kind of milky color because as it is a glacier river, it has a lot of sediments and it's called the Arve River. This Arve River will join the Rhone River, and the Rhone River is as well coming from a glacier and are going to lead the way to Geneva, and then will be in the Geneva Lake. Concerning the Rhone River, it will continue to down south of France to join Mediterranean Sea. You see a big building. So this is one of the three palaces we have in Chamonix, as we have a lot of important people of aristocracy. Chamonix built three really big palaces for all this type of a clientele. You can see very flowery city. So It's day 2 because you arrived the day before, but it's the first day of hiking. So this is our introduction hike. I show you early on the map. We were on the small mountain called Les Posettes. Here we are, Juliette des Posettes. So we are going to be driving for 20 minutes. And then after, we're going to take a lift and a chairlift. So that is not too much for the first day. It's good to warm up for this first day. And as you can see, you saw the first picture with a group of ladies with the border of France and Switzerland. Basically, this photo was taken here. So here we are, the border with France and Switzerland. It's a kind of soft mountain. Okay, so normally this day is around 5.5 miles with not so much elevation and so much downhill. As I said, we can adapt everything, It's very important to stay in the group, Sometimes we have someone who's a little stronger and someone a little weaker, but it's a very nice cohesion. Everybody helps each other. So basically, 5.9 is a good introduction. We will hike up to a small summit called Les Posettes. We're going to have some lunch in Les Posettes. And on the way, so we are walking through alpine meadows with an absolutely nice views. We have some friends here we meet on the way. This is a place where we have a lot of mountain pasture. Chamonix, as it opened very early to tourism at one point, people just gave up all this traditional mountain pasture. For many years now, we are going back to this tradition. And because this mountain is a kind of soft landscape, it's easy for cows or sheep to lay down the grass. The cow is black. It's not French. It's a brand of cow that was coming from a valley in Switzerland, but we have them a lot in the Alps. Basically, we use these cows mostly for milk. Some places use for the meat as well. But look at it. Okay, very nice bell, very nice leather color. The tradition in the Alps is that with this brand of cow, usually by September, before winter arrives, all the cows are going back down into the valley and the different owners choose the best. And then there's a kind of a festivity. Different owners put the cows into an arena and they're just pushing each other. And the one who wins the fight, she's selected the queen of the Alps. And then as a present, we gave her a very nice belt and a very nice leather collar. So it's very traditional festivity in the Alps. So here we are, coming to this picture, we're on the descent. So we are taking this descent for a little time. And then after, we're going to the left to continue to join back the gondola. While you are on this little summit called Les Posettes, you have a 360 view on all the different parts of the valley of Chamonix. And you see as well a different valley of Chamonix, because if you're going to Switzerland towards the Swiss Rhone River, we have a valley called the Bear Valley. Basically, you can see from there as well the different trails you're going to do during the week. Let's go. Okay, Refugio Bonatti, here we are. Second day of the hike, take the minibus. We are going through this famous Mont Blanc tunnel. And then once we're out of this tunnel, we are in Italy, in the Valle d'Aosta. The capital of this valley is Aosta city, authentic Italian valley. And what is amazing, basically you traverse under all the Mont Blanc range. When you arrive into this valley, you see the other side of the Mont Blanc range. You see the south face of the Mont Blanc range. So all through the week, you're going to see different side of this Mont Blanc mountain. Basically, on that day, we are going to have lunch in a very nice mountain hut called Refugio Bonatti. This hut is known by so many hikers because the food is very nice, the view is amazing, and because Bonatti basically is a famous Italian climber, Walter Bonatti, who did many things in the Alps. When we arrive on TV, you show this sign. Basically, we're going to join one of the sections of the TMB, so Tour of Mont Blanc. This day, it's a balcony hike, a small ascent at the start, and we are crossing on a balcony. We'll be meeting a lot of people who are doing the TMB. We'll be eating lunch at the Refugio, and then we will continue for a balcony stroll and going down to the valley. That's the kind of a landscape you can have once you're on the balcony. So I would say it's very dynamic mountain and very dynamic landscape. This is below the valley. On the right, we are France. The border of France and Italy is over there. And basically here is the Val d'Eni Valley where we are jumping on the bus. Italy means a lot of pollen. So in the Refugio Bonanti, we have a lot of choice of polenta or pasta. As well, we are hiking some fabulous mountain flower. And here's the valley, okay, more open landscape, and the Mont Blanc is here. So I don't know if you noticed, but it looks very different from Italy, than in France. The Italians are because there's always a story of who is going to have the Mont Blanc. So the French have this summit and Italians have this one. But you can see that this valley is absolutely beautiful. I put a few videos just to have a little fun on it. Obviously, it's me. I'm a clown. You know, I'm sorry, but this is what we're doing the balcony I can do. So they're all coming from different parts of the United States. For once, I was the video maker. And here we are, Mary arriving. Okay, Mary is very happy. Another video as well. Okay, we have arrived in the valley of Passigny, and here, when I can see a map, I can really show you the trail we are going to take. Okay, percent. This is where we are going to join the TND, Refugio Bonatti, and then we continue hiking the balcony, and we are going down, and then after we're gonna be taking the bus. Just to give you an overall view, why we are on the balcony, what we can discover. Okay, it's a very short video. This is the balcony eye, so a little close, but very nice. Yes, it's a very short video. I love to be in Italy, and everybody loves to be in Italy. It's amazing. Third day of hiking, day 4 because you did here. It's definitely the most adventurous day because it's something that never anyone has experienced in his life. On that day, basically, we meet in the morning and we're gonna go to a shop to try some new pair of boots you are going to use to hike on the glacier. Obviously, that day your backpack will be a little fuller because you will get given a pair of crampons, a harness, and a helmet. So fantastic. And we are going to meet a high mountain guide. This is a lady. And usually on a day, I stay at the back of the group. I'll help everybody. I carry things. And usually it is the day I'm the photographer or the video maker. On that day, so basically, you can see this lovely touristic train, bright red train called the Mont Blanc train. And you can see once we take the train, we arrive at the Mont Blanc. And you are at 6,270 feet. Okay. From Chamonix to this place, the ride was around 20 minutes. La Mer de Glace is the largest French glacier, what we call the Sea of Ice. And once we arrive at the Sea of Ice, before going onto the glacier, usually we go on the terrace and I take some time to explain to everybody what is this place is meaning. And I will talk about past, I'll talk about present and future. And especially because we are so many scientific, I have some friends who are glaciologists. So I have all the numbers, the situation of the glacier. So I will give you a short explanation of what is happening. Montanvert, as I said, Chamonix, love history, and the Montanvert. This is where those two British explorers came to discover the Sea of Ice. And as they initiated the flow of tourism, once they passed the Montanvert, we have so much numbers of people who came to Chamonix from all over the world. And I would say that was around 1880 before the train was created. And you see they're mostly they're high mountain guys from Chamonix. You can see they carved some steps into the glacier. Basically, tourists came to the Montanvert, not the train because it didn't exist at that time, but on horseback, on mule's back. You can see the lady. They had their dresses and their hats all the way long. The guys, as the glacier was not very far, they had an idea to bring all these voyageurs, because they were not called tourists, to be on a glacier. The fun part, you see, were crampons. At that time, we didn't have any shops where we can hire crampons. So the wives of the guys spent that time to knit some woolen socks. And all those people they were putting those woolen soles over the shoes so that it would stick more to the ice. Total adventure. We can guess that most of those people didn't know where they were going, what kind of adventure they went for. Here, the glacier, the sea of ice, means there are glacier, and why people are coming often to the Sea of Ice is because there's an ice cave. The ice cave was carved since 1946 by family from Chamonix. So from generation and generation, we keep carving this ice cave in the glacier. Here is the entrance of the ice cave, the color, so you can touch the ice. And there's many, many things in the ice cave. Here you have an information that the glacier is on the move. This is why I'm going to tell a lot of stories about the numbers of the glacier, past, present, and future. And usually I bring a lot of pictures with me to explain to you that. So this year, you see the ladies are trying to experience the crampons walking. We'll try some time, or the guys say, okay, time to climb that. Now we're going to be on the fourth day. Okay, so I show you on the map the Aiguille du Midi, where you take the cable car. So basically, Chamonix is down here. We take a cable car to arrive here at 13,000 feet on that day. So it is on a Wednesday. It is the alpha day. So I am with you in the morning. It's not a hiking day. It's more towards guided tours. In this place, there's many terraces. You have a lift to go to the highest point where we have this famous step in the void. People go to the Aiguille to step in the void because it's a glass thing and you have 1,000 meters below your feet. So extraordinary. So from here, you have a magnificent view on the mountain. This is a high mountain world, very, very different. You have lots of mountain covered with the snow. You see a glacier. As a photography in the heart, you can see the Mont Blanc. Usually, after that, and usually I guide you around the place. We go every terraces, what is to see. And then after, I'll tell everybody, if you want to do something very exceptional, there's a way, and you can traverse from this place and take a gondola that will lead you to Italy. So on the other side of Italy is a place like this one. Okay, you're not going down to the valley, you stay at the same level, but you are traveling over magnificent glacier. We call it giant glacier. Basically, it's a 25 minutes ride to Italy. I said to the people, well, you can eat in Italy if you want. And then you return, and it's a 25 other minute journey to return to Chamonix. I said to everybody, visit Chamonix. That is something to do once in your life, even to the French people. Okay, small video because it surprises. You are in the high mountain world. So obviously, there's a lot of alpinists. And all the tribes you can see here, as well as people usually going to do the different mountains, or they are going to the mountain. Now we are at the day of Switzerland, Emosson Dam. So we'll be driving. Usually we start early because there's around 35 minutes drive. And I always like to arrive early so that we have plenty of time to do this hike. So Emossons, we're just arriving at the border of France and Italy. From there, when I park the car, there's something usually I leave a surprise because it has to stay in surprise. We take some lift, okay, very unoriginal lift, and we arrive at the Emosson Dam. So Emosson is the second largest dam of Switzerland. Oh, this is the dam, okay? And usually from the dam, two choices of hiking. Usually, as I said, the road book is the dinosaur tracks. You have this picture of the dinosaur tracks, or sometimes we can do another hike through the alpine meadows. One is more of a lunar and beautiful landscape to the dinosaur, and it's more into the alpine meadows. This is my group, okay, where we're having a picnic. Some people said to me, it looks very much like the Colorado. So I don't know, maybe. Once you're in Vincent, it's as well, it's very amazing. Here I am with a group to the dinosaur tracks. As you can see, we call the dinosaur tracks. They discovered in 2005 two places in Switzerland, that one, another one. They found footprints, and when they realized, they say, okay, dinosaur. But it's not the way the dinosaur as we know them. It's reptiles that appear 215 million years before the dinosaur, because on this part on the Alps, million years ago, we used to have an ocean, and with the movement of the continent, this ocean disappeared and those tracks got fossilized. Okay? And you can see there's a funny image as well. This dinosaur has a funny hat as well because the Tour de France took the road up to this area, to the dam of Emoso. So that was Thursday. Another video to show you a little of the trail. Here we are. So we are going to Switzerland, the dam. There's two dams. The one we see here is the new dam, very important one. And we are crossing the dam. So you follow the trail. Your little time. Okay. We follow. And then after we have to turn right over here. There's another trail as well on the road. Sometimes we take that one as well. We go over this mountain. We arrive to the oldest dam of this mountain. So we are walking on the wall. And then from then it's a traverse, a very nice traverse. And we are go at the end of this valley. And around here, this is where we see the dinosaur tracks. Okay. Over there. Here we are. So we can return on the same way, or we can make a buckle. Depends of, as I said, the level of the group, or if you're tired or whatever. There's always many options to take. Okay, we'll be arriving. And let's finish with 12. We're going back. Over here, there's I would say not slack line, behind line, and I know some ladies are in behind line. So the last day of hiking of the week is the White Lake, so le Lac Blanc. Here we are blueberry picking. On this day, you are trained all the week. You are perfect. You can climb so much trail. So you are fit enough to do that. Le Lac Blanc, to go to Le Lac Blanc, we're not very far from Chamonix, so it's 10 minutes drive. It's the closest. And we will take a gondola to arrive here. So you remember the red needles? We are in the red needle side, so facing up the Mont Blanc range. Here is the same thing. There's different options. If you are really good hikers, you want to go for it to the longest way to go to the White Lake, we can do that one. Okay? The White Lake is over here. If you want not so long, we can take this one and we have the White Lake. As well, I have, as I'm a local guide, I have a secret one, goes here where we don't see lots of people, where we can see a lot of ibex. And then, if you want to be a trotter, we can take the taillift over here and we do traverse to the White Lake. And usually either we traverse back or we're going down to the gondola. The White Lake, we call it Chamonix Beach. There's many people are coming to the White Lake. And the reason why, and because from the White Lake, this is the scenery. It's offered for your eyes, a very nice light. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing. You're just small person now when you see all the in front of this mountain. The White Lake, ibex, chamois, marmots, the chocard is like a black bird, like you saw my very first picture when I'm feeding a bird. Chocard is like the same family of crows, and usually they are so used to us, to humans, that they can approach us very easily. So you have to figure out that because you have a different hike every day, so you just have to carry your pack of the day, so you don't have a heavy backpack. So you leave all your stuff at the hotel. Any accommodation, usually your two accommodation, the Helio Peak or the lake, they are very nice, standard hotel, very comfortable, spa, swimming pool. So the ladies have been joining some massage and spa, so absolutely amazing. What else to experience in Chamonix? As I said, Chamonix is a town. It's not just a village. So there's many things to do. So I said already, there's a jazz festival in July. There's the UTMB end of August. We have sometimes a lot of musicians in the streets. You can go to different saunas, spa, whatever. One spa or you're outside and facing the Mont Blanc. We have the market. So many places to find different types of kids. If you like kids, you can do the helicopter ride. After that, usually the helicopter ride, you can make up your mind. You have to be 5 person, and for 20 or 30 minutes, you are flying over the Mont Blanc. That's one of the experience. We can see Chamonix as well, different colors. I point out because obviously there's another activity in Chamonix. They do it as well. I do it sometime. The high mountain guide do it. We are in the mountain, or usually we have to climb. And we are going to look for minerals. This is a quartz mineral. And in Chamonix, we have a very nice crystal museum You have crystals from the Mont Blanc range and from all over the world. And as well, there's a special room in this museum where you can find behind the glass various little gems of sapphire and emeralds, because in Chamonix Mont Blanc in 1950 and 1966, two planes coming from India crashed below the summit. And as we like going explore the glacier, one guy, not from Chamonix, just saw a little metal box. And when he opened this metal box, there were a few paper pouches full of tiny little sapphire and little emerald gems. And that they are in the Chamonix Crystal Museum. I have few ladies who register for paraglide because you have so many paraglides in Chamonix. So as well, I can help you to organize everything, all for different activities. What to wear? Let's go over the points. Basically, hiking boots, depending on what you prefer to hike with, but very careful of the sole. Has to be part of a grippy sole, with crampons. Either they're coming to your ankle, or if you're more comfortable with the kind of a trail running shoes, be careful that they are not some age, because often I have some occasion people don't hike for a long time and the boots are into a cupboard, and usually after the sole is poof poof. So be careful of that. It's sunny in the summer, so it can be very hot as well. So you can have your sunscreen, the hat is very important, sunglasses. Sometimes, yeah, we can have some wind, but sometimes a little snow happens sometimes. So make sure you have with you different layers, as well your rain jacket. Concerning your bag, it would be preferable to be 30 liter minimum. I've had ladies who came with a little bag, and I say usually it's enough, but on the day of the glacier, because you have to put the crampons, the helmet, the picnic, sometimes there's no enough space. Or sometimes happen to be to lend a different backpack. Pair of gloves, that's very important. You will need for the glacier as well. If you can manage to find a waterproof pair of gloves, that will be good. Poles, I will advise really to have poles. Even if you're not used to hike with them, I will teach you how to walk with them. But poles are quite essential. Okay. If you have a little sore knee, it's very good to have poles. Am I fit enough? Are you fit enough? Obviously, I chose these pictures. Mrs. Mary in a group, maybe Mary was not as fit as the other one, but she managed to do all this program. So this program is utterly achievable for all different levels. It's a moderate program. So yeah, I have posed this picture as well, because this lady, that was the first program of this year. She told me that she used to hike many times, but she didn't hike recently. So she really encouraged herself, and she went through so many things. So yeah, that was a sense of achievement, because you think, you hesitate, oh, am I good? And then at the end of the week, you're very happy you have done it. Altogether, I would advise you have a little warm up session to train before that, because otherwise it will make it be very easier for you. What kind of training depends where you are, but if you have the mountains around you, go hiking, uphill, downhill, some terrain that's not very so smooth. That would be the best. Obviously, if you don't have mountain around you, then go hiking and go to the gym session, do some biking. What is very important, I think, to make things much easier is the cardio exercises. Whatever is the treadmill, put the treadmill uphill, not necessarily running, hiking uphill. There's a stair machine, a step machine, whatever, and maybe reinforce your squats muscle. But yeah, come with some training session before to make this much more resilient, and you will appreciate a lot more if you have a little fit background. Well, I would really love to see you, because I have so much to share with you, and you have to know what this place is all about. This place is quite unique, and it's worth taking an adventure in this valley.